Hello, happy Wednesday. I am going to be walking you through the homework assignment for today, 3.5b, which is graphing parallel and perpendicular lines. So this is the Delta Math assignment, and the first skill that you will come upon for the 3.5b is plotting points and graphing a line. The instructions say to use technology to find points and then graph the line. And they want you to plot at least 2 points. I will be trying to do at least 3. And then you'll see once I plot the points, they'll give me the opportunity to draw the line. Now, some of the equations that they will give you are ones that you should be able to graph without using technology. So for instance, this equation here, y equals 2/3 x plus 1. This is in slope-intercept form. So I should be able to plot a point using my y-intercept. And in this case, tell me what is my y-intercept. My y-intercept is the +1, so I can plot that point right here. Then I can use my slope to find another point or another 2 points. In this equation, what is my slope? My slope is 2/3. And that is telling me to go up a +2. So from this y-intercept, I can go up 1, 2, and then I'm going to go over a +3. 1, 2, 3, and I can plot a point. I also could go down 2 and to the left 3. So down 1, 2, to the left 1, 2, 3. Once I've got 2 or 3 points, I'm going to say I'm done plotting, and they'll put a ruler over those points. If those points don't all line up, then you go back and change your points. So then they're telling me to click and drag the line. I need to draw my line from edge to edge or it will be counted wrong. So I'm going to take this from one edge and I'm going to draw it. You need to make sure that you do it until you get 2 arrows. And for some reason, my arrow is not showing up. Let me try that again. I'm going to undo. You see, sometimes when you do that, you're going to flub up, but just undo it and try it again. Go all the way from edge to edge. And then I can submit my answer. And they'll show me what some of the values are if you used a table, and I will show you on the next problem how you actually can find a table using technology. But if you have an equation that's in slope-intercept form, you should be able to plot it just by using the y-intercept and your slope. All right, so let's try another problem. Let's find one. So again, this is one that you should be able to graph yourself. I'm going to keep finding a problem until we find one where it is not in slope-intercept form. For instance, this one. So this one, we would want to use technology. Now, I could make a table by hand. I could, on my piece of paper, plug in different values of x to find out what the y value is. But let me show you another way to do this. I have up here the week 8 overview. So this is in the week 8 folder. You'll see this. And on the desk is a calculator. And if you click on this, will take you right to a graphing calculator, which is called Desmos. And I can, in Desmos, type in this equation. And let me show you how to get the table from there. So again, I just clicked on the calculator that is in here, and that'll take you straight to the graphing calculator. Or you can just type in desmos.com and then click the graphing calculator part. So I'm going to type in y equals -1 divided by 5, and then notice I have to use the arrow over button so that I get out of the denominator. And then I'm going to do x minus 4. Notice how it's graphing as I go, plus 1. Now, it'll graph it for me, but I want to be able to plot points on this graph here, on this grid. So if I type the entire equation in and then go up to this gear, I can change it to a table. So notice if I click over this, hover over this, it'll say convert to table. And then it will give me some points. Now, some of these are decimals. So I only want to plot the ones that will look nice. Now, I could also type in 3, and that also gives me a decimal. 4, 1 works. And I can keep typing in X values, and they will keep giving me the Y values. Let me try one more, 8. So you can see 9, 0 works. So let me plot a few of these. 9, 0, I will take 4, 1. And here's another nice one, -1, 2. So over -1, up 2. So you can see that I have 3 points plotted here, and I got that from my table. So if I'm going to be done plotting points, and then look, I did plot them correctly because they all line up very nicely. And then I need to graph this from edge all the way to the other edge. Submit my answer. And I got that one right. And you can see that they gave me a lot more different options here. But you can keep typing in X values, and I don't have to go in order. I could have put in -6, and it would have given me 3. So you don't have to go in order. All right, so those are the first type of problems you'll get. You'll have to do 3 of these, plotting points and graphing a line. The other skill is called graph parallel and perpendicular lines. For this one, I will not need my Desmos. So let's just go full screen here. And this is telling me to graph a line that is perpendicular to the given line. Some of them will be parallel and some of them will be perpendicular. Let's start with a parallel one. I'm just going to keep trying. Oh, here we go. So I will demonstrate a perpendicular one. So graphing a line that is parallel. So they want you then to determine the slope of the given line, which is the blue one, and then the one that we graphed. And it doesn't matter whether I'm going to graph a parallel line above or below. Let me just start here. And as soon as you click a point, notice I can just keep going. As soon as it turns green, that means my line is parallel. So notice it says here, the line will change color when a parallel or perpendicular line is drawn accurately. And in this case, they asked for parallel, so that's when it would turn green. So if I scroll down here, they want to know what the original slope is, and then what the slope is for my parallel line. So my blue slope, I'm going to need to find 2 points and do my rise over run. So I notice that if I start here at 2, 0, I can go up 1 and over 1. And again, this is a downhill. So what is my slope? If I can go up 1 and over 1 to the left, my slope would be -1. Now, what do you think the slope of my green line should be if it is parallel? Well, we can check it by starting here at the yellow dot. I'm going to go up 1 and over 1 to the left, which is also -1. And let's check to see if we got that right. Notice that parallel lines have the same slope. So I got it right. Let's try another problem. Let's find one that's perpendicular. Here we go. So I'm going to find a perpendicular line, and again, I can just keep going until it turns perpendicular. Oh, there was my green line right there. So they are going to ask me for the slope of my original line, so my blue line. I have a point here, and I have a point here. What do you think my slope is if I do rise over run? I would be going up 1 to the right 2. So what is my slope? It is 1/2. And notice I am going uphill, so it is positive. What do you think the slope of my perpendicular line should be? Well, let's look. So I could start at this yellow dot, and I could go down and over. I would be going down 2 over 1, which would be a negative 2 over 1, or you could have just put negative 2. Notice that perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. So there you go. Now let me show you one other way to do this type of problem if you are looking for perpendicular. Instead of, let's try a different problem. Let's try perpendicular. Here we go. Instead of just randomly finding a perpendicular line, you could first find the slope of the blue line. And let's see, what do you think the slope of this blue line is? Do rise over run. I'd be going up 1 over 1, and it is uphill, so it's a positive slope. Then I would know that my perpendicular slope should be what? If they are perpendicular lines. Opposite reciprocal would give me negative 1. So then I could just pick a point here, and I could start here, and I could do a negative 1 slope. I went down 1 over 1. So you could do the slopes first and then do your line, or you could find the line first and do your slopes. But those are the skills that you are going to want to do. There will be some where your lines are either horizontal or vertical. And let me see if I can quickly find one. Here we go. They're wanting a line that's perpendicular. So perpendicular, I could just draw a line like this. What is the slope of my blue line? Vertical lines, you should be able to check in your notes, have an undefined slope. What is the slope of my horizontal line? Horizontal lines have a slope of 0. So make sure that you remember that and get that in your notes. So that is all that I have for this video. And you now should be able to go in and do 3 problems from the first skill set, and you will be needing to do 5 problems from the second skill set. And then that is all you need to do for your homework today. And then there will be a quiz tomorrow or Friday, depending on when you have class. It'll be quiz 3-2, and it will be in Delta Math, and it will cover all of the skills that we just learned here today and what you learned in 3.5a from Monday, Tuesday. All right, have a great day, and make sure that you get this done before the end of the day. Thank you so much.